Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What are the permissible contexts for backbiting or ghiba as outlined in Islamic jurisprudence? So, the general rule is ghiba is haram. What is ghiba? ذكرك أخاك بما يكره أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. The Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام said that ghiba is to mention something about your brethren, your brothers and sisters, that which they would dislike. So if there's something that happens to be true about somebody else and you speak about it, but it's something that they wouldn't quite like, right? If they knew that you were saying what you are saying, they would really dislike it. That is called ghiba. And of course, the context of the hadith teaches us that the Sahaba asked, so what if what I'm saying happens to be true? So the Prophet ﷺ said, if what you said is true, then that is actually ghiba. Because if it was not true, then that would be tale-bearing, right? Namima. And slander is also sinful. It is even worse. But ghiba in and of itself is problematic. It is a major sin. It is a kabira. So the Prophet ﷺ prohibited this outright. It's part of the impermissible forms of speech that we just discussed. Now the question asks, so are there any permissible contexts for ghiba? And the answer is a resounding yes, there are, because sometimes it is necessary in order to avert a greater harm. So Islamic law outlines specific scenarios where ghiba might be permissible. Such as, for example, if you're seeking help to change a wrong and returning a wrongdoer to the right path, right? This is like a general principle. If somebody is, for example, there's a person going around and he's teaching people, but he's teaching people incorrectly, then to alert people that this is an incorrect teaching, this person has been approached, this person has been spoken to, the information has been brought to this person's attention, but they have refused to accept it, then you can alert people to the fact that this is wrong. But we need to be careful with this, because sometimes as an individual, I may be convinced that somebody is wrong, but I need to verify with reliable, trustworthy scholars that this is in fact incorrect. Because if it's a difference of opinion, a recognized difference of opinion, then I have no right to sort of expose this person and say to people that this person is incorrect. Rather, one should say that, look, there's another opinion, I disagree with it, but I'm letting you know regardless. So that's one example. Another clear example is when somebody comes to ask for your nasiha, to ask for your mashura, your counsel about an individual with whom they wish to do business, or with whom they wish to enter into some form of agreement or contract, or with whom they are about to enter into a marital relationship. In those contexts, a person is coming to seek assistance to avoid any possible discrepancies or mishaps or hidden defects within the individual. So because your counsel is being sought for a noble purpose, it is necessary, it is compulsory, according to Imam Nawawi, as he mentions in his Al-Adhkar, that a person must be truthful and expose everything about the individual about whom counsel is being sought to the extent that is required. So for example, if somebody comes and they say, look, Sheikh, you have a student and my daughter is interested in marrying the student. Can you tell me about the student? Then if I were to know something bad about the student, right, that would make me want to caution this person about getting into a marriage with said individual, then I don't need to expose everything about this person. Oh, this person is so bad. Last week he did this, and the day before that he did this, and then yesterday he did that, and then he went to this place and he said that, and that would be unnecessary. But rather, I would say, look, if possible, I'm going to say the least that I need to say. I would advise you to look elsewhere. If the person is satisfied with that as a response, I'm not allowed to go beyond that with the pretense that I'm cautioning the person from harm. If the person says, look, my daughter is really interested, can you clarify about exactly what you mean? Because perhaps what you are thinking is a problem to me is a minor issue. And nobody's perfect, so perhaps I can overlook the issue that you are referring to. So in that case, I would say, okay, well, look, the person lives the type of lifestyle where they go out at night with friends and they go to questionable places. If that is enough, I need to stop there. If it's not enough, then I can expose more, and so on and so forth. But that is a necessary duty that we have, and it is in the form of assisting, right? Assist your brother whether he is the oppressed or the oppressor. And this would be a way of assisting both parties in that light. Another example would be seeking a fatwa or legal judgment or guidance from a scholar, wherein explaining the situation necessitates mentioning the faults or the flaws of another. For example, if a lady comes to a scholar and says, "My husband is doing certain things that I need, I need assistance with." Now she needs to clarify exactly what he's doing. And if what he's doing happens to be sinful, unfortunately, this is one of the circumstances in which she would have to explain, because without the details, the scholar would not necessarily be able to assist her in the way that he would like to. Another example of this is warning fellow Muslims about potential harm from someone in whichever aspect of life. So the idea really is to avert harm. So if you know that giving information is going to be a means of saving people from some harm, then generally that would be a guiding principle. But once again, we need to take these steps very, very cautiously, because what we are entering into, right, speaking about other people in their absence, things that they would dislike, is a very serious matter. So despite the circumstances, right, the genuine circumstances in which these matters are permissible, one needs to take a lot of caution and make sure that our situation, our circumstance actually applies. It's very easy for someone who has a habit of ghiba to excuse themselves or justify their actions by making up reasons for their ghiba. And in most instances, that would be problematic. So if you are uncertain, then first pause, consult, look, is this a reason for me to expose whatever information I'm going to? Or is this my nafs that wants to overstep its boundaries? That is going to be an essential step in order to ensure that we don't cross the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, Allah knows best.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله